When it comes to seeking the assistance of a deity in the face of impending crisis, it may seem like a desperate attempt to find a cure. However, Qing Chen believed that this supernatural phenomenon on his arm should be dealt with by a supernatural entity. To Qing Chen, there was no harm in paying respects. He liked to make preparations beforehand, leaving no room for regret. It was 9:30 in the evening. Qing Chen sat on his bed, glanced at his phone, the only source of light in his bedroom. The only messages on his WeChat were a few lines from his desk mate Nangenchen. No one else had messaged him. His mother, Zhang Wanfang's WeChat profile picture was quiet, which made Qing Chen feel a touch of loneliness. Of course, it was just a touch. He didn't know what he was expecting. He didn't blame his mother. His father had gambled away multiple properties and was abusive and unfaithful. Qing Chen didn't think his mother was wrong to initiate a divorce. On the contrary, Qing Chen, who had once witnessed his father hitting his mother, was even happy about his mother's decision because it was the right thing to do. Before his parents divorced, his grandmother tried to persuade his mother not to divorce. How will you, a woman with a teenage son, ever marry again? Who would want to marry you? Hearing this, Qing Chen chose to live with his father when his parents divorced. He remembered the shocked expressions on his parents' faces, but Qing Chen knew this was also the right choice. Now his mother has started a new life, formed a new, happy family. Qing Chen might feel a bit lost, but he was still very careful not to disturb her. Countdown 2:31:12. Qing Chen suddenly thought of a question. If these were his last 2.5 hours of his life, what should he do? This question is both serious and romantic because it asks you, what is the thing you most want to do in your life, but have not yet done, or dare not do? Unexpressed love. People you wanted to see but didn't, places you wanted to go but didn't, words you wanted to say but didn't. All fall within the scope of the answer. This question directly asks the heart. Qing Chen got up and put on his coat. Surprisingly, with the countdown ticking away, he chose to go out again. He pushed his old bicycle out of the house and rode towards his destination. The autumn night wind was slightly chilly, and the number of pedestrians on the road was dwindling. Riding on his bicycle, Qing Chen's face was calm, his coat flapping in the wind on the bridge. He did have many regrets in his life, and many things he dared not do. But tonight, he didn't need fear or cowardice, only courage. At some point, Qing Chen thought, if he was really going to die tonight, he should complete the most important things in his life. He didn't have time. He first went to the Peony Hotel, then the Luoqing Hotel, and then the Luoyin residential area, but he couldn't find the person he was looking for. Qing Chen rode his bike through alleys, across the Sevenli River Bridge, and arrived at a residential building when he saw the familiar old second-hand motorcycle parked downstairs and heard the sound of mahjong on the second floor. He then picked up his phone and dialed 110, "Hello officer, I want to report a group gambling at Luojian District, Longting Community, Building 17, Unit 2, Room 201. The dispatcher on the other end of the phone seemed to pause for 2 seconds before responding, "Okay, we will arrange for officers to go there now." It was not until this moment that Qing Chen felt relieved and turned around to ride his bike home. His thoughts were clear. When he got home, Qing Chen looked at the white lines on his arm. Countdown 1:02:21. He began to review his preparations. Wait, was he going to stay at home to face the moment? Qing Chen had once seen a horror movie where the protagonist encountered a dirty thing and would be haunted by a ghost at 12 o'clock every night. Then the protagonist would hide everywhere, even in the deep mountains and old forests. But the ghost could always find him. That time, Qing Chen wondered why the protagonist didn't go to a crowded place. Although ghosts are powerful, people generally feel safer in crowded places. For example, the protagonist could stay in a nightclub, and when the ghost comes at midnight, hundreds of people are shaking their heads to the roaring music. It should be the ghost who is more scared. So Qing Chen began to think, should he also go to a crowded place? Or, he could go directly to the White Horse Temple in Luocheng. After all, there are bodhisattvas there. Not only is there Guanyin Bodhisattva, but also Manjusri Bodhisattva and Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva. It also seems safe. However, Qing Chen ultimately chose to stay at home. He felt that compared to goblins and ghosts, it was more likely that zombies or something similar would appear when the countdown ended. If that's the case, going to a crowded place is no different from seeking death. On the other hand, bodhisattvas don't seem to handle such matters. Qing Chen had already prepared supplies at home. If it really is a zombie attack, he could hide at home for a while. Countdown 00:31:49. In the last half hour, Qing Chen turned on the desk lamp and quietly wrote a will, leaving it on the desk. If he were to die today, perhaps one day in the future his family and friends could see his last words. If he doesn't die, then his life might be a whole new world. Countdown 00:00:12. After writing his will, Qing Chen sat up straight. He held the boning knife tightly in his right hand, his clear eyes narrowing. The closer it was to the final moment, the calmer his emotions became. Just like a tsunami pausing before it engulfs a lonely island, there are no undercurrents beneath the sea surface, just deep thoughts and blazing courage. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There were no ghosts, no zombies, no disasters. Qing Chen watched as time around him froze. The time on his phone seemed to be forever stuck at 12:00:00. The Second hand on the clock on the wall suddenly stopped moving, and the light outside the window no longer flickered. He stood up, the frozen time seemed to shatter at his movement, and the world in his eyes shattered like a mirror. Ching Chen held the boning knife in his hand and looked around. There was no desk, no room, only darkness. Then, he too was engulfed in darkness. Time seemed to have passed for a long time, but it also seemed like only a moment. In this instant, Ching Chen suddenly lost his sense of time. In the darkness, the fragments of the world began to reassemble. Those fragments, which came from nowhere, combined in an instant to form a brand new world. Ching Chen was lying on a narrow, hard bed. This was a completely unfamiliar environment. He had never been here before. First, he looked at his palm. It was empty, the boning knife had disappeared. Then he looked at his arm and found that the white lines on his arm had changed. Return countdown 48:00:00, 48 hours, that is, 2 days, Ching Chen thought. The next moment, the countdown ticked a second. Return countdown 47 hours 59 minutes and 59 seconds.